show. Well, one of my favourite players of all time was inducted into the Australian Hall of Fame this year. He's a Bulldog legend. Please welcome Scotty West.
Thank you.
Welcome to Marngrook, Scotty, and I love having the Bulldog players on the show.
Thank you. It's I've been on Jono all year to get invited, but I finally got a gig, and here I am.
Now, Scotty, congratulations on a fantastic career. You're a bona fide Bulldog legend. You won 8 best and fairest for the Bulldog.
How can you win 8?
Most people would be happy with 1.
There'd be people that, well, I'm happy for you to say 8, but it was only 7.
Oh, okay.
I was nearly going to let it go, but I don't think I'd get away with it.
We'll go with 7, then.
We'll
that
go with
sounds
7,
all right.
yeah.
But that's a tremendous effort. In all seriousness, that's a lot of best and fairest, and as I said, most people would be happy with 1.
Well, yeah, look, it was one of those things that,
I've been very happy with 1.
You've won more than all these guys put together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I was at the Bulldog Best and Fairest last night, so it brought back some memories, but it's fair to say I trade in a few of them for a grand final and, you know, a premiership cup. So, but that's the way footy is, and, look, I was proud of what I was able to achieve, but as I said, to miss out on grand finals and those opportunities is something that, you know, you do regret.
So tell us how you felt about being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I imagine that would have been a tremendous honour.
It was an unbelievable experience, and look, obviously we got the letter to notify that I was being inducted. And to be honest, you know what footy clubs are like. I thought someone was. I thought it was a prank. To be honest, there's no official AFL lettering on it. But then a couple of days later, I got the official phone call, and look, it was overwhelming, surreal, and then to go up to Canberra and be inducted and see the people, the calibre of people that were in the room, and obviously also think about the people that aren't in it. You know, it was a huge honour.
Hey, Scotty, look, thanks for coming on the show. I've always admired playing against you and watching you play, and I know when we always used to play the Western Bulldogs, or Footscray back then, there were 4 blokes you could stop and you could beat the Bulldogs. They were Scotty Wind in the ruck, Libber, who was just the most courageous bloke football I've ever seen, a bloke called Leon Cameron, who was the most skillful player, and a bloke by the name of Scotty West, who was just... For a skinny bloke, I couldn't believe how tough... Nah, serious, I could not believe how tough you were until I played against you, and I said to myself, gee, I didn't realise how tough this bloke was. You were pretty skillful as well.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, look, there's some fair players that you mentioned with Scotty Wind and obviously Libber and Leon Cameron, and I guess those sort of blokes make you walk taller, you know, especially with Scotty Wind, you know, who was an inspirational leader. Libber, you know, although he wasn't captain, you know, also, you know, led the charge. And, you know, when you've got guys like that around you, it makes you confident to be able to put your body on the line and obviously play hard footy.
Now, Westy, you're coaching now. You're coaching a team in your own entity. You've had a little dabble at assistant coaching. Now you're coaching your team. Are you going to? Do you see yourself putting your hat in the ring for a big job down the track?
Down the track, well, yeah, no doubt about it. But I think having done an experience coaching your own team has just been an amazing further education of what it takes to be a coach. And I think you're sort of coming out of football, you go into assistant coaching, and you're probably a little bit naive to how easy you probably can make the transition. But then stepping away from assisting and doing your own coaching, I think you actually realise how much there is in it, you know, in managing people, schedules, all those sort of things.
And that's what they do say, don't they? They say that you have to be able to manage not only the team, you've got the corporates and you've got all that. So it's an invaluable experience that you are getting, and you never know. Like with the bloke of your experience and your knowledge of the game, I'm sure when you're ready, you'll be a great pick for someone.
I appreciate it.
I'm full of compliments tonight.
Thank you.
Now, Wesley, a bit disappointed. They've mentioned all your accolades, your best and fairest, and that they left out the most important one.
Thank you.
The grand final runner of the under-10s at Strathmore, mate. You're still involved. You made all the moves. There was an important move that in the grand final the coach told you to do. I was standing right there, and you said, "Coach, are you sure?" And you made him change his mind, didn't you?
Well. Eventually. He actually asked me to take a player off, and you and I rate this player reasonably highly for an under-10. And he asked me to move him, and I just said to him, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yep." I said, "You serious?" He said, "Yep." And I said it one more time, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yep." Got him off, got him back on, he kicked the goal and we won.
That's it. Does a great job down there, Scotty. Does the running and does a fantastic job.
Yeah, Scotty, played 324 games. What was your favourite memory of playing at the Dogs?
Oh, look, no doubt your first game, you forever remember it. I played Collingwood round 193 at the MCG, and, you know, you're just living out your boyhood dream. You guys would have all gone through it, and it's just, you know, again, surreal, I use the word, but you're running out in the MCG, and I don't know how much of the first game you remember, but it was a real blur of the day. And as you get into your career, obviously, you know, playing finals footy. I was fortunate to come through the Bulldogs, even though we didn't have the ultimate success. I played, I think, about 15 finals. It could be a little bit less than that, but you know, obviously we didn't win the ultimate one, but obviously those finals experience, big crowds, and some really good wins were, you know, were things that you do remember as a player. And you know, playing state footy, playing all-Australian stuff, meeting great people, you know, different people that you can learn off as, you know, experiences that you take into life.
And Westy, how tough was it coming from, obviously, the Bulldogs not being a financially benefit off than the Carltons, the Collingwoods, those? So how hard was it?
Well, yeah, it is always difficult. I think, you know, a great example of that is, you know, the pre-season comp. We always went into the pre-season competitions wanting to win because it always sent a really good message to our members or supporters that we wanted to become members.
For the money as well?
For the money as well, for the prize money. And there's probably other clubs that, you know, really didn't care whether they won or lost. It was a really good experience and great hit-outs for their players for the pre-season. But I guess that was the frame of mind back then when we, you know, when we were struggling. We didn't have great facilities. In saying that, you know, there was still good facilities. But yeah, look, I think until you can walk in the shoes of some players that didn't sort of have it as, you know, as luxury as what others have had it, I don't think you really understand at times how difficult it was.
Scotty, I remember when you played your first game, I think you're wearing number 14, before you took over the great man's Guernsey, number 7, Dougie Hawkins, and obviously you wore it with pride for, you know, your 300 games there. But 97, that was the club's closest time that you got to a flag, and you must still remember that game. And what comes to mind when you think back about it?
Well, Al just asked me about memories in footy. That's one of them. You know, it's you know, a bittersweet memory. You know, it was a great game, a great day, but unfortunately, it's I think three-quarter time we were 20-odd points down, and Libba still says that was a goal. And
I reckon it was too.
Yeah, well, it's
definitely a goal. We got ripped off.
But that, you know, that's footy. That, you know, we probably shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. We had a fairly good lead at three-quarter time, and you know, we probably, you know, let a few easy goals. Jarman kicked 5 in the last quarter and tear us apart.
Player Wallace, I was a big rap for him, and I just loved the way he coached. And was he a coach that you just wanted to play for? Because the way you were playing back then,
Chris Grant, didn't he?
well, just the way you played it, to me, it looked like that you should have got in the grand final.
Yeah, look, we didn't. Should we? Could have we? You know, but look, 96 we finished, I think, last. I think we won the wooden spoon. 97 we finished third. So, look, for me personally, Terry was a very good coach. We played a similar brand of footy, and you know, really helped me, you know, in that stage of my career.
There was just so many players, wasn't there? Sorry, Grant. So many players for the Bulldogs that have played 300 plus games. Well, what do you reckon the secret was?
Not 100% sure, but you're right. You know, Granny, Rowan Smith, Brad Johnson, myself all come through, you know, a system where we played 300. You know, there's other players that played 200 odd games. You know, I think we really, you know, try to set a standard of training, you know, a real professional standard of how to go about it. I think if you prepare yourself well, if you train hard, it enables you to stay in the game longer. And I think, you know, through a generation of players, we were able to do that.
Certainly some champion players there.
Oh,
Chris
absolutely.
Grant, Brad Johnson, Rowan Smith, you know, fantastic Bulldog players.